Many are talking about specific moments in which JK has done some things that people think are debatable. People are also saying that there has been evidence of V and JK being together, and people saying that JK might have deleted a lot of stuff. And then we have people believing that JK was recently shamed by a rapper. So hey dumplings, it's Dave Disci. Let's get into it. Azealia Banks is an American rapper that gets into a lot of controversy. Recently over something she said about JK, but she tends to get into controversy over just tweeting things to be funny because her music had never seemed to hit a mainstream market. And it never got to the point where she was really big. But for some reason, every time she tweets something, it's like all over the headlines and people talk about it. But anyone can tweet anything negative, but it's not always all over the headlines. So it's very interesting that the media loves to pick on her as opposed to maybe there are even more famous rappers or influencers who say even more crazy things that don't ever get picked up on. So it's very interesting to me. However, there's a reason why I mentioned this, as I said, because she did mention JK. I guess she was beefing with a model or something. I don't fully know what she does, like the model. I think she's a DJ. I also think she models. I don't know why Azealia Banks feels the need to potentially go after someone who has way less of a following than Azealia does herself. That is not super popular, mind you. I'm saying all this. I do like Azealia Banks' music. I wish her music actually got a lot more attention rather than the controversy that she gets into. Ms. Banks decided to tweet out to say that the model had a very interesting body. This was unprovoked. It was just a tweet of the model's body, and it showed her abs, and Azealia Banks decided to jump in there and say that her body was cut like a man, and Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan and JK all have this type of body. I will be honest to say this is kind of a refreshing take from her because I do remember her saying something about K-pop stars being gay twinks, and this is kind of a refreshing take to say that these Asian men are actually somewhat manly. I don't know, because I don't think there's a soul out there that thinks that Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee has a feminine body. These are the people you think of when you think of the epitome of a man's body. However, a lot of people took this really offensively and they were really upset. They were saying that she was insulting JK, and even some of the more comments that took it positively were still taking it negatively. There was one comment that said that this is not even an insult, and I don't really know why this was said, because people like to say they don't want something to be perpetuated, but they are perpetuating something. That's like if I said, "Oh my god, you're so beautiful," and then you responded with, "That's not an insult." She was then saying that JK, Jackie Chan, or Bruce Lee were gay or had a gay body type, and that's kind of what a lot of people were insinuating that they thought the tweet was about. So since when is just mentioning a name considered an insult? Don't we want the general public to start mentioning JK and other K-pop stars as kind of part of the normal conversation? Like when Jackie Chan gets brought up, people are like, well, yeah, he's really famous, so of course he's going to get brought up. No one really thinks much about it. Don't we want JK to be at that level too, where he's just part of the every conversation? Also, whoever said Azealia Banks was insulting JK literally makes no sense, because in her tweet she said you're cut like a man, so she's comparing a male body type to this influencer. However, the thing that I find the most upsetting is that no one really is coming to the defense of this influencer. No one is really telling her to stop talking to this influencer and stop insulting her. Instead, people are picking apart the names that she dropped in her tweets. It's interesting because a lot of K-pop stars love to scream anti-feminism or homophobia all the time, and they love to try to stop that or not perpetuate that. But then in this case, they don't really care that it's being spewed out towards this influencer, but they're only upset because JK's name got dropped. And of course, a lot of people are going to say, well, why would the community care if this influencer has nothing to do with JK or K-pop? But that's when you can be like, K-pop fans are good, because they're not just upset when it comes to K-pop stars, but they're upset when bad things happen in general. I mean, I believe the stuff that he did with Trump was amazing, and he was not involved in the K-pop community really at all. Now, whether or not JK's orientation is what Azealia Banks is saying, we won't know. We won't ever know, nor do we have to know. However, a lot of people do have assumptions that can kind of get wild sometimes, because a lot of things within the K-pop community don't often come from the actual source, but just comes from people assuming things. There was a clip that had gone viral again where it was around one of the last concerts that BTS has done. There was a moment in which Jimin went up to V and was trying to either put his heads together or fake a kiss or do something cute like that. I'm not entirely sure. I personally thought this was very funny, and I'm sure the community had a great laugh about it. But the video then showed JK allegedly going up to both of them and trying to pull V's head away. Now, he doesn't actually do that, but you can tell he puts his hand on V's head. Some people made the assumption that anytime anything gay happens on stage, JK gets really jealous and wants to be part of that. Obviously, this clip definitely does look like that, but he's not actually pushing anyone's head away, in my opinion. It looks more like a pat than anything that is aggressive. And when you take the moment as a whole, right, and this is oftentimes the issues with the shipping community, you'll see that it's not the narrative that they're making it out to be. So when it's played in its entirety, like the actual event, you may not even notice moments like this. And moments like this, these are isolated. And they can put whatever caption they want, that could imply anything. You have the Jimin and JK community saying that JK is pulling V's head away because JK wants to be gay with Jimin and jealous that V is being gay with him. But then you'll have the V and JK shipping community say that JK is pulling V's head away because he wants to kiss V and doesn't want Jimin to do it. So right there's two different perceptions of what actually happened. And so if you want to caption it one way, then it's going to be believed that way. So moral of the story, take these things with a grain of salt. Some people say that this is JK coming out or whatever it is. It's very interesting. I don't think I actually believe that. However, these aren't the only crazy moments that have been trending lately. Some people believe that JK had confirmed being with V a long time ago, and some of those, let's say, pieces of evidence have resurfaced again. This is probably the wildest one, because apparently both JK and V posted them being in the rehearsal room, or allegedly the same rehearsal room. I don't know if these photos were posted on the same day. It obviously would not hold as much credibility if it was posted on different days. So let's say that they were posted on the same day. Of course, this was around the time that they both had solo activities, so it is unlikely that they would normally be rehearsing at the same time. But saying that because they are in the same rehearsal room together on the same day, and that means that they are in a relationship together, is very wild, because two friends can't just visit each other at the rehearsal room together. Maybe JK was trying to film something and he wanted an opinion from someone. V happened to be the one that was available that day or in the building and decided to stop by and check in. Also decided to maybe take a photo, because why not? It looks cool. So to assume that it's confirmation is very interesting. It definitely doesn't make full sense, and it's not taking into consideration just how humans act in general. Of course, there's a lot of people who say, well, when a woman does something like this, like if a random female star was in the rehearsal room, then everyone would think that she's dating JK or whatever. That's slightly different though, because I can kind of see where that is coming from to an extent, because JK doesn't know any of them or isn't publicly associating with any of them. So for them to just show up and be in the rehearsal room, it does seem a bit odd, because it's like, how do you guys know each other? When do you know each other? Why is she there? Why are they alone together? However, while odd, definitely not out of the normal possibilities, and men and women can be friends. I believe even at some point when JK deleted his Instagram account, this was part of the reason as to why he deleted his Instagram account, as many people believe that anything he was posting fed into the ships or had started this huge controversy, and so he just didn't feel like it was worth it. Of course, anything that any of the members do is going to cause controversy and or a lot of headlines, but JK posting on his Instagram account seemed to be national news anytime he posts a photo. And I don't know if that's just the nature of the platform or if that's just something that is specific to him and the other BTS members, because I know, for example, a lot of brands will look for influencers to work with on Instagram, and they will avoid sites like TikTok or maybe even Twitter. So Instagram has this mainstream following that is attached to it. Everyone uses Instagram, and by everyone I mean people who are much older, people who have corporate jobs, and so potentially posting on Instagram reaches this mainstream audience versus posting on a platform like TikTok. It may not reach the same audience, so it may not be as big news. That's my opinion, that's my thought. I don't know if that is anything that went into the reason as to why JK deleted his Instagram account, but I would not be surprised if that was one of the reasons. He just felt way too pressured about posting anything. He did talk about feeling pressured for making sure his Instagram page was very aesthetically pleasing, perfect, and one of the reasons why is because he probably didn't want to present himself to this huge American market without an aesthetic. And so I felt like my theory kind of fits with that. Let me know what you think. Make sure to check out Patreon for more videos. Link down below. Thank you to this lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.